Let's meditate. I'm in a hotel. Tomorrow I'll be flying out to go to Japan. My friend took me for me to pick up to ride on the bus, but his car broke down. I was late to catch the bus. There's no easy transportation, so I hitchhiked. Managed to come to the hotel after maybe 4 years or so, 4 hours or so, which I did before actually. In fact, I kind of enjoy the ride to get to know new people, which cannot happen unless I do something like this. One person was a member of Jehovah's Witness, so we get into some interesting discussion. And I was amazed that I could communicate. And before that was a lady, I think she said 63 years old or so, very, how can I say this, independent to live her own life. And she doesn't want to be with all the technology and advancement and the cumbersome issue to come with all the new equipment. So she wants to live a simple life. Hasn't materialized, but I was amazed from her energy level. We had a good conversation. My friend's car broke down, and I don't know what happened. I haven't called him because I'm a little concerned. Today is a holiday, so no shops are open, part of the Easter holiday. He said his friend would come pick him up. And why that happens? Because there's a huge rain, maybe something to do with climate change happening more frequent, so that the road got flooded. So we have to go all the way around, and the car start to show some sign and finally stopped working. From there I hitchhiked 1, 2, 3 ride and then I took a bus. As I talk, one thing I can think is Zen koan. When you're in a very difficult situation, how to get out of it is the nature of the koan. And I guess I just did that. Finding person kind enough. In a way, my friend told me my life is like hitchhiking. Every leg I have some way of accompanying with someone or ideas to go with, and then go to the next leg, another idea, or another location to go because of curiosity, and on and on. You can see the relationship is like that too. when I start to talk about today, I didn't mean to think about those things, but just popped up. Everybody's hitchhiking in a way. New situation develops and find a new direction or not. All the decisions we are making. Some are more conservative and more fixed. In my case, I may be more fluid. Just exploring what could be the potential, I guess that's the foundation. Not to say this is the way to live, but in a way, maybe that may correspond to how the species evolves, whether it's into the right direction or not, just the way. Yeah, all the happenings lead to another opportunity or problem and move on. Yet, I have to confess, today's journey, I thought about past memory, one event, and I keep coming back. It's kind of embarrassing, so I'm not sure if I want to talk about it. But I was questioning, why so? So I go back to this thought. When I was young, anybody or young, you have some ideas implanted from parents or anyone we associated with after the birth for the first 3 years, whatever that time. And we may not remember that much in the past. And that's the habit that we may still retain. Karma may be the word to explain that. But still, we may move on or fix it if possible. But I thought it's in a way like hypnotism that we have in our early age that you cannot retrieve. So that's the little memory triggering such a thought. Then, as usual, I even touch my heart. And then actually I thought about this. When you touch your heart or chest, you notice something changes off and on. I have a strong sense of the cells resonating when I do that. So when we are deluded state, what we can do is perhaps even pinch your cheek or like that, smash your cheek. Or maybe that's what the Zen monk used to say, cats, to awaken them from any thought that you have, to break it up. So Namu Amida Butsu may be one example for that. So it's interesting. I never thought I would talk about anything like this, but one thought triggers another, triggers another. But those are the things that happened today. So where was I? Yeah, the cuts and the touching, and that also is the point of breathing changes when something happens. What is that something? The example of the grasshopper, I mentioned that in the meditation the first day, grasshopper popped up and my breathing changed and realized that it was the beginning of the thought back in Yellowstone when I was catching trout and the grasshopper was the one. So it's the memory of the past. So I could remember that. So I could see, okay, that's the trigger, like touching the chest or Namo Amida Butsu or samadhi or cuts or like that, or counting to 10. There are various ways, but it's to the end is like that joriki, the steady power of something that is inside of us that we can connect from the heart. And actually, that's what I was talking with this Jehovah's Witness guy. And I cannot recall all the detail, but I was talking about we go back to the Garden of Eden, and he said that's precisely what Jehovah's Witness was about, or something like that. We didn't have a long talk because of the time and the distance, but I don't know if I want to look into it. Maybe I do. I was surprised. So, one point maybe, the problems may turn out to be opportunities, or you never know. It can trigger another problem too. So it's impermanence. But we still want to navigate our life. Maybe one thing I can talk on this occasion because some unusual things happened. I was watching a TV program. What's the name of it? It's about the nerd students. Something theory. Big Bang Theory is the name of the program. And I was watching and laughing. The point is that I haven't watched TV for the last 4.5 months. So I could see me, if I was a young kid, watching those and maybe very much interested. But then later I thought, well, I cannot keep on watching this because it doesn't go anywhere. It's just a wit or interesting thing with a little stimulating event to take place. So the people, I would imagine, that may be an old program, but whatever the case is, young people get attracted to this and that and this and that, and people talk about it. So that's their new kind of like a feeding, new information they capture. And it keeps on going. So I'm an old man at 77. Let's assume that I was reborn with this same state. I think you call it cryogenic. Some people try to do that to sleep and then come back, say 100 years later. If that happens, the structure of the brain that I have versus the people's structure of the brain will be so different, I would imagine. So I won't find anything kind of you can relate to, and that's probably is not the interesting state. We are living in this environment relating to each other because we can relate to each other, but after 100 years, nobody can imagine. I wondered, when I say connecting to the heart, would that be something people may be talking about? Or they're just going every tangent, some crazy or interesting idea chasing, because that's the way of creative activities to happen. If so, what's the point of this old man, 77 years old, saying something on YouTube? No relationship. Let's say they discover this 100 years later and look at this and think about, what is this guy talking about? Is there something fundamentally as a construct of who we are that's very important? I still tend to think like that. Like the Christianity, Garden of Eden, eating the fruit of knowledge, and things start to, it's like a big bang of the human species to go into one direction, not going backward. Scientific progression, technology. Well, having said that, I'll just breathe in and breathe out, because I guess I got to the nowhere to go. So accept everything, it is as it is, and connect it to my heart. What I just said was maybe taken as a delusion. Maybe it is delusion. But there's a saying, delusion is enlightenment. Without delusion, you cannot be enlightened. But you can stay in delusion without awakening. So maybe the koan would stay, or this issue as human condition may remain to be a puzzle. And that's natural, because the laws of nature manifesting us to be alive, I see it just nothing but miracle. So let me just kind of conclude. Be awakened to the miracle. That's most powerful. Because that's the way of nature as it is. And we may peek into it, or directly experiencing in the state of liveliness, as if connecting to the heart, and we are one. So mishap happens, problem happens, unexpected consequence, whatever happens, that's life, because the mind cannot picture. So ride the wave of the universe. Be one with the way. And we can do that in samadhi, or namamidamsu, or smashing your cheek and wake up. But maybe not enough. You have to go deeper, deeper, deeper into it. Well, maybe that's one idea. You don't have to subscribe to that. Thank you. And that was the experience today. You never know. I'm lucky to be alive. And there's no storm, actually. All the stuff started to happen yesterday because of the flooding. Makes it difficult to go into one direction, but have to go all the way around. Thank you. Have a good day, good life. May all things be happy.